Hey everyone, Todd here, internalarchitect.com, and in this video you're going to learn about biopsies and if they are painful. I've been getting involved in a little bit of the support group chats through Reddit and Facebook, and I think some of you probably know how I feel about my Facebook usage, but I think it's been a really important aspect for me to start getting into, because there's a lot of people that are really confused and scared about the process that goes on after you've been diagnosed or as you are being diagnosed. There are a number of things that go on when you start down this road. There's a lot of fear that goes on because you are jumping essentially into the unknown. The good thing is that you might start getting some answers into what it is that's going on with you and why you might be feeling as bad as you have. And so with that said, I want to just tell my story a little bit about my first couple days within my diagnosis, so that it'll help kind of give you an idea of what to expect. Now, when I went into the hospital, I went in because I had what felt like gas pains. I had a cramp in my right side underneath my rib cage, right about where your liver sits. And it came on really unexpectedly in a sunny day in November. As the day went on, it didn't get any better, and things just kind of transpired from there. And I told myself, if it doesn't get any better the next day, I'm going to go into the hospital, into the emergency room. And that's what ended up happening. The next morning, I woke up, got moving, and that cramp came right back. So we ended up going down to the hospital, to the emergency room, and that's where things started to unfold. Did a CT scan of my chest area, and we were able to determine that my liver, the scan of my liver, did not look right. And it actually, like if you were to look at a bag of birdseed, right, that is the consistency of what it looked like. Just really kind of spotty, and there's no like solid consistency in color or whatever to it. So we ended up getting me down to St. Anthony's Hospital in Denver Central, and that's kind of where everything started to unfold. Within the first 3 days, I had a liver biopsy. I had a lymph node removed under my right armpit, so that got surgically removed. And by day 5, the pathology came back, and that's where I was diagnosed with lymphoma, Hodgkins for that matter. Over the course of the next 2 weeks, I underwent a PET scan, my first PET scan, and that was just absolutely crazy. And my first round of chemotherapy, and that's where everything kind of unfolded for me, and that's where I was just like in this absolute mayhem world of reality. Over time, it got a little bit easier for me to process. I kind of started to understand the routine, and I was able to kind of move forward and just zone everything out. I was dealing with a lot of fear from my own mortality, and I didn't really know how to do that. And so I started kind of talking to people about it. And I mean, as far as like a counselor session goes, I had some resources at hand to help me kind of with that. So that was one of the biggest things. But I want to really focus back onto the biopsy side of it. Some of the questions that I've been starting to answer on Reddit and Facebook about, are biopsies painful? And undoubtedly, yes. Unfortunately, they are very painful. My liver biopsy basically felt like I was being stabbed, and I very vividly remember the utensil going in and them taking pieces of my liver. I could feel them and it was the weirdest, painful thing I've ever felt in my life. I could feel the little grabbers coming in and just grabbing pieces, and they took 6 little pieces of my liver. And immediately after the 6th one was taken, they knocked me out immediately, because it's a very intense feeling. It's a very intense pain. And it took a little bit of preparation for me, because I had a friend that unfortunately had gone through some liver biopsies due to a different disease, but he told me a little bit about it, and he was like, it's going to suck, but there's just no way around it. So prepare yourself mentally to have the biopsies done. Once I had a reoccurrence, I had to go in and We ended up getting another biopsy done at a different place, but we ended up doing what was called a mediastinoscopy. We tried to do a bronchoscopy at first, and that's where you go through the nose. And we were trying to get a sample of a lymph node that was essentially right here in my chest. And the best way they wanted to go through my nose to see if they could get it, but because it's in such a precarious place, they couldn't do it. So they ended up opening me up. I don't know if you can see it or not, right there. They opened myself up and did what was called a mediastinoscopy. They were able to go in and get a biopsy of that lymph node and confirm that my Hodgkins came back. And that's where everything kind of led down the road to my autologous stem cell transplant. So that one I was absolutely knocked out for, and it all worked out really good, and everything was good there. They had to knock me out because of the incision and whatever, but I guess because the liver metabolizes things so quick, that is the main reason why they didn't knock me out for that, and I just had to endure the pain of it. It taught me that this is something that when you're going through cancer, everything that could happen can happen. Doesn't mean it will, but it's good to just kind of shift that focus and that mentality and that mindset into, I got to do what I got to do to make sure that I can get through this as quickly and as healthy wise as I possibly can. So just remember that as you're going through this, and if you have to do biopsies, just mentally prepare yourself that it's going to suck. And if you can do it that way, it's going to make the entire experience a little bit easier. It's not easy. None of it's easy, right? But it's going to make you feel a little bit more comfortable knowing that once you do this, once you get it done, you can move on to the next thing. And I've always been kind of one to just jump in and let's just get this thing done. I want to do this now. I want to get it done. I want to get it over with. So if I can do that, and if I can make that happen as fast as possible, then so be it. And that's kind of how I approached the liver biopsy also. And that's kind of the rest of it. For me, the rest is history, obviously. So take the time to really prepare yourself for a biopsy, because there's undoubtedly a lot of fear that goes into it and a lot of confusion and anger. And I mean, you go through the entire gamut of everything, not only because you're going through cancer, but now you have to do all these surgical procedures that really keep you on your toes. And if you can prepare yourself for all the ones that come up, and when you're first starting out, there's no easy way to do this. A lot of positive self-talk, a lot of meditation, a lot of just trying to be around people that can support you as best as you can. And I know that there are a lot of you out there that don't have the support. So this is where you have to dig deep and really be your own best support group, right? Fortunately, there are some more survivor and patient resources online, more and more starting to pop up, which are really good. So Facebook has a couple good ones. Reddit has some really good ones also. Quora is also a good place too. So please take a look at those. Ask your questions, because there are plenty of people that have been out there. Unfortunately, because the medical industry has not done a very good job in really helping with survivorship issues and psychology problems and other physical problems along the way, you kind of got to go at it alone. But just want you to know that you're not alone. So yeah, just remember those things. Be prepared. Start doing a little bit of research, but in the good way, and you're going to be okay. And you're just going to fight like you've never fought before. So thanks for watching the video. Hit me in the comment section below if you have any questions, and I'm kind of curious to hear what you say. And if you have anything else that for you survivors out there that might be able to add to the conversation, by all means hit me down there to help people out, because that's what we're trying to do with Internal Architect, is just help as many people as possible. So thanks again. I really appreciate your time and your energy in watching the videos. Do what you do, share, like, subscribe, and I'm going to continue putting these videos out for you guys to help you through all this crazy time. So again, thank you very much, and I will see you on the next video.